Soro-Soke generation is a term that emerged from Nigeria's youth-led activism during the end-SARS movement, symbolizing a bold and outspoken group that refuses to be silenced. This generation thrives on unfiltered expression, often speaking truth to power without hesitation. Their courage in challenging oppressive systems is commendable and necessary. However, while boldness in speech is crucial, there is also wisdom in understanding that not everything should be said, at least not in every setting or manner. The founder of House of Tara, Mrs. Tara Toye, once said, "The Soro-Soke generation does not know that not everything should be said. Learn how to read the room to determine what should be said and not said." This is a profound lesson in discernment. Words are powerful. They can build or destroy, heal or wound, inspire or incite. The ability to express oneself freely is a fundamental right, but it also carries great responsibility. Not every truth needs to be spoken at every moment, and not every thought should be voiced without considering its impact. Words, once released, cannot be taken back. They shape perceptions, influence decisions, and alter the course of events. True wisdom lies not just in having something to say, but in knowing how, when, and where to say it. In today's era of social media dominance, where every opinion can be broadcasted to millions within seconds, the importance of discretion cannot be overstated. Young people at the forefront of social and political advocacy must recognize that while transparency and accountability are crucial, unchecked expression can lead to misinformation, misunderstanding, and unintended consequences. Silence at times is not weakness but strategy, an opportunity to listen, reflect, and choose words that are constructive rather than destructive. A well-placed pause can sometimes speak louder than 1,000 words, creating space for thought and meaningful engagement rather than impulsive reactions. There is a stark difference between speaking up and speaking wisely. Transparency and accountability are vital, but reckless speech can do more harm than good. The digital world does not forget, and the words spoken in the heat of the moment can have lasting consequences. One careless tweet, one unfiltered statement, or one impulsive outburst can lead to unnecessary conflicts, misinterpretations, and damage to causes that deserve careful advocacy. A generation that speaks without reflection risks turning its own voice into noise rather than influence. History teaches that even the greatest leaders practiced measured speech. Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King Jr., and Malcolm X understood that their words could ignite change, but only if delivered with intention and wisdom. They knew when to challenge authority openly and when to maneuver subtly to achieve their goals. Their words were not reactionary. They were deliberate, powerful, and strategic. Those who wish to create lasting change must learn from these examples. Passion is necessary, but so is precision. The effectiveness of a message is not just in its volume, but in its clarity and impact. Furthermore, speaking with discernment does not mean being silent in the face of injustice. It means being mindful of how messages are conveyed. It means understanding that emotions, while valid, should not cloud judgment. Effective communication is about persuasion, not just confrontation. A well-thought-out argument will always carry more weight than a loud, unstructured rant. This is not a call to suppress voices, but a call to refine them. To truly drive change, young voices must master the art of measured speech. Sometimes the most powerful statement is made through silence, through calculated actions rather than reactionary words. The most successful movements in history have been led not just by those who spoke, but by those who knew when to speak and how to deliver their message for maximum impact. The ability to channel emotion into purposeful communication is what turns voices into movement and movement into revolutions. Ultimately, the strength of this generation will not be in their volume alone, but in their wisdom. Their legacy will not be determined by how many words they spoke, but how effectively those words shaped the future. If they combine their fearless voices with the power of discernment, they will not just be a generation that spoke up, they will be a generation that changed the world.